Yo, good evening, y'all. Welcome to the Above Average Podcast.
What's up? What's up?
Thank you guys for tuning in to our very first episode. We're going to talk about fashion, sneakers. We're going to talk about some music and everything in between. Our main objective is to just have fun. We all clowns, for real.
Yeah.
And we want to bring you guys above average content every week. I am your host, Mars. Follow me on Instagram. And what I got on today is the white and red IE 11. To match the Reds jersey for opening day. Baseball has finally started, And these are my co-hosts.
It's your boy Mark Abram. You can follow me on IG, Mark_Abram. I think it's another underscore and another underscore. Of course. OG joints to match the T. Yeah, I'm ready to get this started.
Man, so I guess I'll be the only different one. It's your third cousin, twice removed on your mama's sister, uncle, daddy's side. But I'm related to her third cousin, Mr. Jones Kicks. How y'all doing today? Open today in Cincinnati, so this is actually a holiday in our city. So, of course, definitely rocking a Reds jersey. Reds have to go with it. And just to be a little different, all red King joints.
Ooh, and you got the Soldier Boy hat on. Let's get it.
There we go. Let's get it.
There we go.
All right, y'all. So what did we pick up this week? This week I picked up an iPad pencil. I got the new iPad, so I had to pick up the pencil to go with it. This is my pickup for the week. It's not kicks. It's not clothes, but it's for the business, right? It's for the business.
Bouginess.
Yeah, somebody said that's one of those cardboard stand-ups.
Yeah.
Who, Tyron?
Yeah, they said he got a cardboard stand-up.
Yeah, that don't count. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I guess what I got this week was I got this fire T-shirt. I really like it. I also got this T-shirt. Well, Tommy got this T-shirt from Danny. There's one more pair. It's from the Mature Kids collection. One more pair. Also got.
He rich. He been shopping.
Shopping.
Well, on this quarantine, man, I thought I would support Black-owned businesses. So
say that again.
Support Black-owned business.
Yes.
So we got these 3 shirts that I got. I don't know if you can see it, but
well, the first not Black-owned business that I supported today, the good people over at Nike, cop some tie-dye shorts.
Fire.
Yeah, can't go wrong with these guys.
Essentials. Danny
Shout out to my boy Mel over there at Lavish Culture. Black-owned business.
You ain't think to get us nothing, man? What's up?
Right. Keep going.
So listen.
Keep going.
No, listen. But listen. Okay. Yeah, so y'all stuff gonna be in the mail. And then
I'll take that.
There we go. Supported my homegirl, Miss Marcy, Flawless Clothing. So yeah, y'all know me. I am definitely a sock hoarder. So I'm just gonna show a few gangs of socks. And
talk about right.
Since we supporting people and I'm a sock hoarder,
Woo!
Yeah. Fire! I just ordered some. I can't wait for them to come in.
Necessities.
But I ordered mine with the new packaging. I'm excited about that packaging.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I got mine before she got bougie.
Yeah, you should be jealous.
I know.
All right.
Yeah, that new iridescent packaging, fire.
Fire, it is. So we're going to roll right into it if Tyron stops talking.
Tough.
So we're going to roll right into it. We're going to bring out our special guest for our first episode. We got TJ. She's better known as Talks with TJ on YouTube. She's bringing a fresh and unique approach to sneaker-focused content on top of showcasing her latest pickups and how she styles kicks and fits. She's encouraging young adults to budget their money. She's showing them, educating them on how to budget their money. We all know life is more than about kicks, right? More than about shoes. It's bigger than sneakers. So she is encouraging all of us to enjoy today's release, but plan for tomorrow's responsibilities. She has grown her YouTube subscriber base by 13 grand in 2 years by staying true to herself and appreciating the joy that sneakers bring to her life. Welcome to the camera, TJ.
Yeah, TJ.
Everybody, thank you for having me on.
Oh, y'all got the same shirt on. Y'all match.
Twins.
Yeah, really. As stated, I am TJ, better known as Talks with TJ, aka TJ Tshirts Change, which I got a few of the Tshirts crew in here. And so I felt it only right to rock at least like 5 or 6 change just because.
Okay.
But thank you guys so much for having me
Seven
on.
change?
Y'all had to absolutely come and represent for Mark the homie since day one. So thank you for having me on.
Appreciate that. We're glad to have you. So we're going to jump in to this week's releases. We're going to share these together. We can talk about what we copped. Some of us copped some things early this week that some are going to be salty about.
Exactly.
Some didn't cop anything this week. So I'm one of those people that, I guess I did cop something this week. I copped those 12s that dropped. Let's look at these releases. TJ, we're going to let you lead. How do you feel about these Grateful Deads right here?
So if you haven't had the chance, I would say go watch Jock Slade's video. He went pretty in depth about the history of the band itself, and there's a lot behind it, right? This wasn't just kind of a thrown together collaboration. There was a lot that went into it. So I think if you have a deep appreciation for them, then you wanted this shoe, or maybe if you're just an actual SB Dunk fan, it was unique. It just wasn't for me. Like there are definitely SB Dunks on my radar now that I've been bitten by the bug, but they just weren't for me. But I know I saw a lot of salty faces on Instagram today for everybody taking L's. I know some people want it for the toe, some people want it for resale. I don't have an issue with that, but yeah, it wasn't something that I was going after.
Yep, that's definitely me.
Tried, didn't hit.
I tried.
Sneakers never shows any love to me ever.
I tried. If I would have got them, they would have been gone tomorrow. So I'm glad I didn't get them.
Guess who did get them?
You got them?
Nah, I lied.
Oh,
I'm about to say you didn't tell us.
Right.
It was shock and awe. Shock and awe.
Boo. I got these 12s today. I did not like the last minute info. They told me yesterday that they were doing it by ABC order. I work.
Oh yeah.
I go to work at 7:15 in the morning, so I can't just leave. They gave me a window to pick them up from 11 to 1. I have a 30-minute lunch break because they just cut back on teachers and administrators' time to get a lunch. So
are you still employed?
Still employed.
Oh,
thank the Lord, but they cut back the time frame. So from my job to the mall is 11 minutes. So I mean that gives me no time to eat. That gives me no time for anything. But
what retailer is this, Mark?
This is Finish Line. They told me super last minute.
Finish Line did drop that last minute.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't heard the 2-hour window, but that's
they
go ahead.
No, I was about to say they inboxed us on the little app and said the time frame on that. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, with their competitor, good old Foot Locker, they give you 2 days now with COVID. So
yeah,
that's definitely a shock to me for the 2 days, Foot Locker. So it's definitely weird to hear that they're doing 2 hours.
Yeah, they did 2 hours. It was per your last name. So mine is Abram, of course. So I was first, and they just said if you didn't pick up past 1, your pair is now free game to anybody. I wanted that pair just because I sell shoes when I wasn't working to supplement my income, and those 12s were sold before I even hit on Finish Line. I already knew I was getting a pair.
Right.
Did anybody else cop those 12s this week or wanted to go for them?
No, they weren't. They were not for me. They were not for me. With the pickup
me
that I already got on the way, I was like, I'm good on the 12s. This is a clean looking 12 because anything with that OG, I think Flugaine color blocking does well. I mean, we've seen what happened when you just stuck real blue on there as well. But for me, I just said, hey, it's not a must have.
We'll go with some of your Warriors merch though.
I would rather have an actual blue and yellow shoe to go with the Warriors merch. So I'm definitely scoping out a few shoes to be able to go with that and mix with the Michigan stuff I have.
You said go blue, right?
Yeah, I did. Absolutely. I said go blue. I don't support Ohio State over here, Mark Abrams.
Blue, right. Go blue. All the
I
way.
mean, we know who's going to win the game, but...
we might not even have season, let alone a game. NCAA hasn't decided.
I really need for us to have a season.
That's a topic for another show. We can move on. We can move on because we know who the true winners are around here.
Well, y'all asked who got them. So Finish Line actually did a early drop. So Paris has had these about for almost a solid month. I posted a picture on my IG, and so just because we do that whole daddy-daughter thing.
Hey,
Bigfoot, Littlefoot. I am definitely grateful that these are not Pittsburgh steel yellow, though. I had to match this up with a couple things just to make sure we were safe. Because if these were Steelers yellow, they were not going to be in my household. So, yeah, I appreciate that.
Noted from a Bengals fan.
Yeah, don't say that.
I think these women's Air Max 90s, they're a cancel for me. They're just, I mean, I'm not a woman and I don't like Air Max 90s. I don't know how you
I guess it's the anniversary of the 90s, but that doesn't compete with all of the iconic options you have available. From the actual Volt to the orange. I'm still holding out for infrared. I've held out on all the other pairs until the infrared drops during the holiday season, and then I'm absolutely going after that one.
Mm-hmm. I like some of the duck camo ones. I'm just not a huge Air Max 90 fan. I'm starting to build up my Air Max 1s. That's where I'm staying.
That's a trap.
What about these, Tyron? I'm cool off your boy for right now.
So this was the first colorway of the 380 that I was actually looking forward to. And it's simply because it had that blue in there. And then homie had to go ahead and mess with Miss Harriet. I'm like, what an old Kanye.
Oh, let's bring that up on our other segment. Because he off the wall. I can tell you that.
But he did replace Jordan, though. I will say he did replace. He finally jumped over the jump man with something.
Whoa.
I'm talking about the crying face, man. I'm talking about the crying face.
Whoa.
The face homie
meme? Yeah, that meme has taken over.
I was going to say, you said jumped over. I was like, hold on.
No, that meme has taken over social media.
Yeah, I was going to say, we about to shoot.
Yeah, you already know me, Mark. There's not a single thing Adidas in my home.
Nope.
It will certainly stay that way looking at that shoe.
Yeah. I can't get with that. I don't wear brown, and that brown just reminds me of something.
How are you gonna be brown? How are you gonna be brown and not wear brown?
I'm fall brown, like beige. So
fall.
You like a dark buttercream.
Man, Mark, check your messages, brother.
Check my messages.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How y'all feel about those Stussy Spiridons?
I can't go.
I actually like the other one he did prior to these. I didn't end up getting them. But the other color he did, that bone or sand color, I actually think that was pretty tough with the mixture of all the different textures in there.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any at all, and I won't have any.
I'm mad that I didn't get that one because that one's actually reselling for a pretty nice profit.
I would have just worn it. I don't know why I'm like that beige sail. Truthfully, it's a nice shoe to be able to contrast with, and put a lot of stuff with outside of just the typical triple white colorway.
Now we know we went to the big. We got to go straight to the big homie.
Okay.
So there's only one person that's on this podcast right now who actually has this shoe.
Ooh, don't. Hold
And it's
on.
not me.
Hold on. So we talk about actually confirmed, like got them, or is this just
talking about actually confirmed?
No, mine are on the way. They'll arrive Monday.
They arrive Monday. Oh,
They're
so you
Monday.
She got the picture.
You the plug.
Huh?
You the plug.
She got the picture. Got him.
I don't have a plug. Exclusive access was provided, and I hit it.
Provided by your sponsors at Nike. We understand.
I'm not sponsored at all. I just, I was just blessed, and what can I say?
Now she extra bougie.
I will say this: when it comes to taking my L's, I take all my fair share of L's on because it definitely dished out one with the smoke gray ones for me. But when it comes to like either women's exclusives or off-white, that's actually when I've had the most luck. So I hit on those as an exclusive access for women. I hit on the satin shatter bagboard for women. They gave women exclusive access back in 2018, I believe, on that Wednesday before they dropped on that Friday, and I was able to get them. And then I also hit on the shock drop for the off-white UNC ones.
Plugged in pretty well.
So again, you're the plug.
Plugged in pretty well, it sounds like to me.
No, I get lucky where it counts, and they all go straight to go.
She just don't want to share. That's all. She don't want to let us know that.
Sharing is caring. They taught us that at an early age, and she acting real selfish. She got her hair freshly twisted. She got all 37 of her chains, and she got her little shoe. She acting bougie.
Yeah. She feeling herself this week after that.
Man,
right.
I'm bougie because it's like 90 degrees outside now. I don't step outside unless it's to walk to my car and walk back. That's
sheesh.
I'm telling you, when I saw her post got him, I was like, bro, I'm switching my sneaker profile to female.
That's what I tell people. I didn't
get the exclusive access, and you know what I'm saying? That, like I said, sneakers don't show no love ever to me.
Yeah, I know it went to some, certainly not all women, because when the Satin Shatter Bagboard, when they provided access to women, she_shoe game on Instagram, she actually got it first, and I tried to get in through the app, and it just wouldn't let me, and she said, try on desktop and go to your inbox there and see if it worked, and that's actually how it worked when I got them in hand, to get them in hand early, so, I mean, it's always going to be a numbers game, right? They'll pick a certain number of accounts will have access, and then you have to check out within time for it to actually go through. So like for me, I didn't waste time. You could have tried to do the 2-day shipping for $5. I didn't even waste time. I just said, let me check out right now. And I'll deal with however long to get here. Which they
no
said,
games, don't care about nothing else. Let's get it.
I get on Monday, I think.
Since we on that topic, I know you made a video earlier in the week about how you felt about men going after women's releases. Just elaborate a little bit on that for us.
Yeah, so for me, it wasn't just a focus on men. It was kind of just an observation of kind of the sneaker community and culture as a whole, and to see their reactions to the fact that there were specific accounts. Of course, we don't know how they were picked, but specific accounts that received exclusive access. And then for those accounts, they were based on you having a female profile. So it was interesting to see men say that that Jordan Brand apparently was being sexist because they provided a women's shoe for women to be able to obtain first. And then you had there were men and women, even women who were just simply salty at the fact that other women hit and they didn't hit. And I just thought it interesting because with everything going on, my thing was just kind of, I guess, read the room, read the country, right? You have to look at the bigger picture for me in terms of you didn't hit on this shoe. Okay, how many shoes have you hit on? How many shoes are in your collection? If you're upset about not spending $200 plus tax after that, it seems that you're in a pretty good spot. So you didn't get the shoe. At the end of the day, sneakers, it's a great representation, I think, for life. You're not going to get everything you want. And in the event that you want it that bad, dish out the money to go get it. That's a lot of things will come down to life in, right? If you want it bad enough, dish out the money. If shoe is that important, go dish out the $1,000+ for it. If you feel it's valued at $1,000+.
That's it.
Facts.
If you don't pay it, but don't be upset, right? Like for somebody else to be able to hit, don't be upset, don't be salty because somebody else got a W. To me, that's just not a good look.
Right.
Now I will be salty if you hit again tomorrow.
I'm not hitting
Man,
for me.
what?
I'm trying to go for a friend. She is not my size, so I'm trying to go for a friend and be able to help her out because she didn't get exclusive access. So that's normally what ends up happening for me. If I end up getting a shoe, let's just say either through work when we used to actually get releases in store, through either work if I'm able to get my pair. Then if somebody else needs it, I'll try to help out for a friend. But yeah, for right now, I'm trying to go for her because she's tried to help me on other pairs. We just strike out a lot of times.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so tell us what was the first sneaker that you begged your parents to get, and did you get it?
That I begged them to get and I didn't get. Ooh.
No, you did get.
Oh, I did get. The answer 5. That's easy. So as soon as that shoe released, I saw pictures. I said, "Mom, listen." It's not a question. The man's face is on the insole of the shoe. I said, I need this. And the way it works, so like winter basketball season and my birthday, because it's November 21st, it was all right in line. She's like, you're only getting one thing. So if you want these shoes, that's it. You don't get shoes for your birthday and shoes for the season start. And I said, fine, say less. So she ended up buying me the white and silver pair, and you could not tell me anything for that entire basketball season.
Right.
I had it going on no matter what. Good game, bad game. I had that shoe, so I was excited.
Hey, mine will be the answer 5s too. I did not get the shoe. I didn't get shoes that I liked until I bought the shoes.
Until you bought it? So your first one was what? The Fire Red 5, right?
Yep. Fire Red 5. Still got them.
Now, see, that was this year was my first time picking up a 5, and it's crazy because now I'm kicking myself for not having shown respect to the shoe prior to now. So I feel kind of bad, but
yeah, that shoe is always gonna hold weight in my eyes. I got it super, super clean. I got it for a super good deal. Got it for $60 with the box.
Yeah, you're on Go shopping around.
You probably threatened some little kid to give you that shoe.
I'm saying, like, back when I actually bought my first pair, he gave them to me for $60. I did actually get that one for $60 on Go, though.
Yeah, he was on Go.
Yep. Shopping around. Got a steal. I have the new pair as well.
I don't remember what I begged my parents for. Shoe wise, I remember my first Jordan though. It was the 17s. Still got them. The very first. I was in high school playing basketball. I used to hoop in all white Air Force Ones, mid top.
Did you really?
Yes.
Ankles.
And you know I rode the bench, right? So,
but you look good.
Was, he was a plug, quote unquote, Foot Locker plug, cough cough. So I was able to get these, but I can't remember if I begged my parents for anything. I'm gonna have to ask. That's a good question.
I'll never forget. So that 17 is actually the first, it's one of the first pairs I remember really buying myself, like with my own money that ended up getting for Christmas. I went with friends. It was like the day after Christmas shopping, and those were in Foot Locker, and they had them on sale because it was the holiday, and I scooped them up immediately, and I had those shoes for so long.
Yeah, of course, GS didn't come with the briefcase. I was disappointed.
He didn't get nothing. He got a basic.
Y'all got a bag. They came in a Kroger bag for y'all.
A basic box.
Right.
Yep. How wrong with yours?
I begged for every Jordan. My mama told me, "Nah, you ain't getting that. I ain't about to pay all that money for none of that." Let's see. So the first shoe that I actually that I can remember begging for was a pair of white, black, and blue penny 4s. I had just made the basketball team, and my stepdad had bought them for my sister, and she couldn't fit them. They were too big, but I could fit them. So she told him I'll just work the shoe out for her, doing stuff for her, and she gave me the shoe. 2 weeks later, I broke my ankle, and I had to sit out my 8th grade basketball season. But I still got the shoe. So the penny 4 was the first shoe I do remember begging for because it matched my school colors.
Hey.
Cool. All right, so the next question is...
Except you broke your ankle.
Mark, are you done?
Sorry. He turned out to be successful, though. He's a great bodybuilder now. My bad, Tyrone. Let's move forward.
Absolutely
It's
not.
okay. Because you know I'm gonna say something ignorant, like somewhere down the line. So just know it's coming.
I'll start.
Everybody in the chat.
You put it in your pocket. You put it in your pocket for later, Tyrone.
Oh.
All right. So the next question is two-part. So, what are things an aspiring sneaker enthusiast should consider when buying their first pair, and what other advice or tips would you give them?
So the first thing I would always say is, truly, you need to buy a pair within your own budget. Okay. No matter what, like a lot of times the shoes that capture our attention now, like especially if I were to look at a young kid just getting into the game now, it's not like back in the day where we had to wait for East Bay magazines or we had to wait for the latest Nike commercial, Gatorade commercial, Jordan ad to come out. It doesn't work that way. They can just hop online and get on sneakernews.com and they'll see all of these shoes coming out. But you have to keep in mind the price point that's going to go along with it, right? So just because you see a pair of Yeezys or Jordans that are listed at $200, you got to keep it all in perspective. That may not be what you can afford, because when you're young, you don't necessarily earn money. Your parents are usually the ones earning money. So live within your means. So that means if you have to, look at all the different shoes you like, okay, then be realistic and figure out which one falls into your price point. And that may put you along a different product line than maybe what is at the top of your list, right? Because a lot of times Air Maxes, depending on what style you go with, like an Air Max 1, is very, very affordable.
Right.
Versus an Air Max, let's say a 97 can tend to be a little bit more, right? You creep into 155 range, even for grade school. So make sure that you're always looking at the price point, because that is going to determine a lot of what you can afford. There is absolutely no reason to go broke just trying to afford sneakers. Like, that's just the way it is. I know the running joke by Richie Lee is, if you've never almost missed rent to buy shoes, then you're not a real sneakerhead.
Right.
Please don't do that. Make sure that you can afford the shoe. Make sure it's in your price range. But then also make sure that the shoe is true to you. Please do not just go get a shoe because you think it's going to, gain all this attention. It's going to garner respect, street cred, whatever you think it's going to receive for you. Like, you're the one that needs to feel comfortable, love the shoe, be comfortable in it, and it be true to your style. If it is not true to your style, don't buy the shoe. Like, if that Grateful Dead SB Dunk is not something you would ever rock, don't just get the shoe to have the shoe. Because yeah, you could sell it, but to me, like, in terms of you building your collection, it needs to be affordable for you at that moment in time in your life. It needs to be something that's absolutely true to your style. And then I always think you need to have something that's pretty versatile in your collection. So start out getting some classics that will stand the test of time. Get an Air Force One, get an Air Max One, get a Jordan One. A lot of them do tend to have the number one in them, but getting those can get you through a lot of different outfits and a lot of different looks. And they're all a little bit different, right? Some are more casual, some are more sporty, some can be dressed up, can be dressed down. But I think those three things are definitely what I would tell somebody just getting into it.
I think with me, it would be, TJ hit on all the key points, but for me, I'm always going to buy what I like. I'm not going to buy what appeals to somebody else. I'm going to rock what I like. That's why my collection is so slim, because I buy what I like. I don't typically try to go out of my price range. Sometimes I do, but...
Unless you're reselling it.
Yeah. So, like, these, I had to work my way up the ladder to get these. I had to sell many pairs.
You no ladder. You slapped the midget.
No, but... I would actually, that would be my advice to anybody that's starting in the sneaker game. As I sell shoes on the side, so I would also say I would start low. So I would get the cheapest pair that you see on Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, anywhere you see it, clean it up, sell it to get what you like. If you know that the Flint 13s are coming out this week or whatever, and you know you need $190 and you only got this, you're going to have to make something work. You're going to have to, I would say, rock what you like, get what you like. Don't go out beyond your means. And I would start cheap, to be honest, because it's going to get dirty anyways.
I think mine would be quality over quantity. So you don't necessarily need everything that comes out. So just pick the things, kind of to your point, Mark, the things that you like, but things that are quality, and to your point, TJ, as well, things that will, stand the test of time. So definitely quality over quantity.
It took me a while to get there. When I first started collecting J's, I needed everything, and it was just because I was simply trying to build my collection. And at that time, I was buying Jordans, LeBrons, and foams. And Jordans $190 to $200. LeBrons have always been over $200. Foams have at least been like 220, 230, 250. So I did have to actually watch my pockets because I had a family I had to also take care of. Then I kind of started slimming down. Like if it's a Jordan 1, I want it. So that's the reason why I hoard Jordan 1s. I'm like 80 something pair deep now. But now, like, I really don't care what people think about my shoes. I can pull out a couple shoes in my collection. People talk about me for, but when I wear them, it's like those are nice. Though they grab attention, especially my Adidas shoes. They grab attention.
Cool. So the next question is, what advice would you give your younger self in regards to buying and collecting sneakers? Kind of maybe piggybacking on that last question. Some people may have different points, but
advice for my younger self. I guess give at least to my younger self, because I look at my collection now, what I just started really getting into, because I finally added like a Jordan 5, a 13, SB Dunk Low, and I have an SB Dunk High, and then I have Vans. So I would say don't be afraid to branch out of what you're so used to. Because being a basketball player and then running track, I always had runners and I always had Jordans in my collection. And I would branch out and get, Iversons, but that's still along that line. It's really in focus with just basketball player shoes. And now looking at what I have, right, I can casually dress in Vans. If I definitely want just not an athleisure look, if I just want a casual look, I can throw on Vans. I can put on SB Dunks for a totally different look, especially if I'm going for the oversized cargo pants and a T-shirt. Breaking into the 5s and the 13s, like not understanding the comfort that comes along with it. And I just thought like for the 5s, like, oh, it's bulky. I don't know if I would like it. Well, the 13, it's nice, but I don't know if it's for me. And I just said that for so long until, the point 13, I've always loved the color. I said, okay, I'm finally going to get it. And once I got it in hands, got it on foot, I doubled up on it. I doubled up on it. The only reason I didn't double up on Fire 5 is because I had to, with COVID and everything, I had to go right back and make sure that I had the 13 secure too. But I would say don't be afraid to branch out of that comfort zone, because had I known, man, I could have had a more extensive collection of Vans right now. Because if you only stick to the one thing you're used to, right, you have no idea what other brands are capable of doing. Like I have Yankees Vans. Right. So as a Yankees fan, that's everything. And it was super affordable because I think I only paid like $35 for it on eBay. So to be able to have Yankees Vans, we get stuck on like Off-White is the only deconstructed look you can have. That's not true. Vans has a deconstructed look, and I have the high version, the skin high version, and the low, and I absolutely, the old school, and I absolutely love them. So that's definitely what I would tell my younger self.
I have to agree with, I think, controversial Wolf said, I would tell my younger self to spend that bread, youngin.
Listen,
I'm in my mama house.
Terrible influence.
I ain't got no bills.
Yeah, he tries to get me to spend money relentlessly.
Yep. Spend that bread, youngin. I'm going to rock with that one. I definitely agree with that.
No, I would be opposite. I would be holding my money tight to my chest. Had I known then what I know now, I wouldn't. That's why I'm slowly but surely, things are closet slimming down. So I would definitely be tight to the chest with my wallet, younger self, and go after the higher price items that I do want, instead of buying every Jordan every weekend and hiding the box in the trunk because I was living with my parents. So I would definitely be the opposite.
I'm that way now with clothes. Like for so long, it was, oh, I don't want to pay over X amount for a shirt or some pants or a sweatshirt. And
Right.
as I branched out into either Fear God Essentials or even the higher product lines for Nike, you realize paying for the quality, especially when it comes to clothes, I think it is well worth it.
Yeah.
So I'll pay the $100 for a hoodie or $70 for pants now and know that it's worth it. I need to pare down all the other stuff, but I think it's worth it for what you pay for.
I do agree. If I could tell my younger self, younger Tyron actually worked for Finish Line, and they had countdown packs. And my goofy self, I was like, I don't want them because I only want one shoe out of the countdown pack. And as I got older, and as I got older, and now I would choke the crap out of younger Tyron because I let exactly that double box. When I tell you, I literally could have had every countdown pack because nobody at the store wore my size. I was cool with my manager, and he was like, "Bro, just get what you want. Like you don't really buy anything. You don't use your discount. Just legit get what you want." I would have. Oh my god, I would have hoarded countdown packs.
So I shouldn't tell you that I paid $50 for maybe 2 out of the 3 countdown packs today.
Hey, let me holler at you over here real quick.
For real? Like, what?
Man,
that's that Foot Locker,
So
because
she had that. She rocked that
thing
on.
$50.
$50.
They marked them down in kids. I promise. It was like 2 pair and two of the 3 that I had. They were on sale at Kid. I mean, at Foot Locker. And they was doing the 50 back then still. So I was boom, like give me that half off $50.
She was
let a pack come out right now. I'm sitting at the gate.
Oh, what?
Yes, the 11 and 12 pack. That's the only pack I paid for regular price. The other 2 that I had, the 18 and the 5, and I had another one too. I can't remember, but I paid $50 for them. No lie.
I wish.
That's crazy.
50.
Yep.
That is so crazy.
The audacity.
So that brings me to my next question. What was a shoe that made you fall in love with sneakers?
Oh, hands down, that was the Concord 11. So I end up telling the story every single time I do. I hop on a panel and do an interview. But the person I really looked up to as a role model growing up, her name was Crystal Young, and she was ranked number 5 in the state for Michigan in women's basketball. She was a top stellar student athlete, 4.0 student at a private school in Michigan. She actually was on a full ride at University of Toledo when she graduated. And because all she had to do, focus on school, focus on ball, and her uncle and her mom and her grandma would take care of the rest of the shoes. And I would always go over and I would hang out with her, and she would always have these shoes lined up. And it was other sneakers. I was just like, okay, but then it was that pair. And I was like, what are those? Before what are those was the thing. I was like, what are those? She's like, oh, yeah, these are the 11s that came out. That was it. At that point, I couldn't get rid of any shoes. I had to make sure every shoe was clean, top notch. I'm like, Mom, listen, what do I need to do to make sure this here pair happens after that? Like, I'm not sure if that was the pair, but that might have been the pair where her mom, her grandma, and her uncle all got her the same Jordan. Like, apparently nobody communicated during that release, and they all got her that pair. And she was gracious enough to let me wear her shoes too from time to time. We were right around the same size, so you definitely could tell me nothing. But like, you rock Jordans like I was doing something. So yeah, like 11, and like I couldn't get it immediately in 2011 when it came back out because I was graduating undergrad. I had school to worry about. I was going into grad school. I was actually going right. I was in my first half of grad school. When they came out in holiday season of 2011. So I was able to pick them back up a few years ago. And then when the 2018 pair came out, as Mark knew, because we worked the release, I was like, Mark, just put my name down. This is a must. I'm going to get them. I'm not even going to wear them. And they're still sitting there. I put them on for the video, and I think that was about it. They're still sitting there. So the Concord 11, just the patent leather, the white, how it was so different from every other shoe out there, just totally blew me away.
Mine will be the Bread 11. I mean, I was in school, and that was a shoe everybody got. I'm talking about everybody, mama, grandma, niece, nephew, everybody. I mean, they just brought themselves to Foot Locker, and they all got them. But guess who didn't get them?
Mark.
So I'm walking around the school wearing all black Vans, looking like I'm going to just take your Bread 11s off you because I want them. But my mom, she wasn't going for them. But Bread 11s definitely, that I think that shoe just defined style. And I mean, being able to see him now in the Last Dance wearing the Bread 11s, like just looking at it, it's just like that shoe changed the game for me. Like, that's a shoe I will never sell.
Yeah, I see it back there on the shelf.
Yep, it's up there.
Chilling.
Yep,
I'm pretty sure after the 17s that I got the Bread 11 was definitely my you know, it was a pivotal point in my sneaker collecting life, so to speak. So outside of that one, it would be the Royal Ones. Royal Retro 1 is my all-time favorite shoe. I grab it every time it comes out, no matter how many times it's gonna come out. I'm gonna grab it every time, especially if they keep the leather quality up. So, but yeah, that's definitely outside of the Bread 11, the Royal 1 is definitely my go-to and the shoe that, you know, continues to get added to the collection.
I almost bid on that this week. Almost.
Royals.
It was a pair. It was a pair in my size, and I was like, man, should I not? And then the whole shock drop happened. So.
Oh, you got the 4, so yeah. Wait till next week. You know.
That's my thing now. I'm trying to figure out, like, once they arrive. I don't know. I still might pull the trigger on a pair tonight, but it's not going to be a pair anybody's like really going after.
Right. Controversial Wolf said Black Metallic Retro 5 is the shoe that did it to me. Drug dealer down the road used to wear them. Luckily, I got addicted to kicks and not drugs.
Yeah, he sent me a picture. I saw a picture he had on the metallic. He had on the metallic 5s. And then as soon as I saw him, I was like, great, now I need those. I just feel like I need them now after seeing the picture, seeing the reflection time, all black.
Do it.
For me, it was the Bread 12. Growing up, being a huge Cincinnati, I was a Bengals fan, but every time baseball season rolled around, I am definitely, it's got to be red, obviously. Me and my cousin, we were going to school. He put them on to go to school, and I looked at his feet. I said, man, what do you have on? And I looked at his foot, and I realized what it was. And I remember seeing Jordan play in the shoe, and I was like, dude, like, I can't believe you had that shoe and you going to school with it. And I'm thinking that's something that you just put up here, you just like never touch. I want to say I was like in like the 5th or 6th grade when I remember seeing that shoe, and I was like, I gotta have it. So I've been trying to like just go back and grab all of them. I think I have 4 pair of Bread 12s. I have the suede flu games. I have a pair of the leather flu games, and then I have the ones they just did recently, like a couple years ago. But the Bread 12 was the very first shoe that just, like, I need J's.
Yep.
Thank you, Dan, for shooting the price up of my size on StockX.
Man.
That's way when it's something crazy.
Man, listen, I don't even want to wear it because I think the bottom of it's just gone.
Ooh.
It's gonna chew some gum.
It's gonna start talking to you.
Talk to TJ.
We got another one.
Nah, Mark, go ahead.
Another
one. I got another question for her. You got it on your paper? No? Okay. What tips do you have for aspiring sneakerheads / YouTube?
I asked that already.
Oh, you already did?
No, well, she didn't say YouTube.
Man, catch up.
I didn't say YouTube. No, I didn't. But remember, I combined the second and the fourth.
Oh, yeah, you did.
YouTube is a little different than you buying for your collection.
Light skin fight. Go get him, sis.
Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about the merch. I want you to just go ahead, tell the people in the chat everything about this this collab that you just.
Yeah, absolutely. So for you all who subscribe to my channel on here, you know that my outro slogan is "Act your age, not your shoe size." And I probably owe royalties to Controversial Wolf because most people don't know. He actually he ended up stating it one day. We were having a conversation about just the landscape of YouTube. And I said facts. That is absolutely correct. Now, if some don't know, Prince did mention a line very similar to that in his song. But it just rings true. Like when you think about how we may act about shoes, right? We whine, we pout, we say it's unfair. I want what I want. I don't want to hear no. People get into arguments over shoes online. They're ready to fight.
Mandatory.
People literally get into fights, right, over shoes in the mall. And it's like, can you just act your age, right? Like people are 30 acting as if they're 10 years old because maybe just their shoe size is 10. Culture Clothing, they reached out earlier in the year to do a collab, and I when it comes to YouTube and merch and trying to do the usual blueprint, I've just been very patient and really going at things at my own pace when I just felt it was the right time. And with the unfortunate murder of Breonna Taylor, when it came to my first merch drop, I wanted it to be about something bigger than just myself. Like, yes, I could certainly drop a shirt or do merch and I could benefit from it, but it's not as if I'm hurting for anything. My platform has grown to a certain place where people listen and then they want to know my opinion on things. So I wanted to make a bold statement within the actual community, but then also something bigger than myself. And so for this first drop that we did, which is the bread colorway of Act Your Age, Not Your Shoe Size, I'm not keeping any of the profits, and neither is the brand. We're donating all of the profits outside of what we needed to kind of process everything to the Justice for Breonna Taylor Fund. And we just, I believe, sent out like our last few round of shirts. So we'll be able to get like that solid number that we'll be able to donate, because I had a goal of what I wanted to donate in mine. I think we're going to far exceed it, which is awesome because I couldn't have done it without you guys. But I think it just went to show that if people trust you to follow you, to listen to you, to find value in stock in what you have to say, then make sure you're saying something that you can stand on and live behind. And being a single Black woman myself, like I can put myself in her shoes of what could happen, right? And cops come banging on my door and I don't know what's going on. And right, that could have easily been me in Indiana. That could have been my versus her story in Kentucky. So I wanted that to, resonate with people. That's why I kind of did a few videos of, what does it take? Because there are a lot of people that are so heavily vested in the sneaker community, but are you heavily vested in the very people that, helped build and cultivate this culture from the ground up? And if you can't do that, right? Like, again, can you care as much about us as you do about the culture that we helped build? And if it's a no, then what would make you care? That's why I asked that. Would it take your favorite sneaker creator, your favorite sneaker enthusiast or person that inspires you to be slain for no reason? No justified reason by cop for you to care. So it's done amazingly well. I'm definitely humbled by all the support. Now, when it comes to future drops, we're working on more. So it won't necessarily be the same design immediately after for this next drop coming up. And then it will center around a different profit split structure. But every drop that I have, at least some of it will go towards a cause that I think deserves attention. So like for the next drop coming up, I know that I'll donate to the Elijah McClain Fund. And then for future drops, I'll pick something else that I think is just as important.
That's dope. How did your relationship start with A Fresh Culture?
They just ended up following me. It's a funny circle that kind of goes around because they are close in talk with Marcus and Kiana, and they all do, if you know, they own Valiant Pursuit. So that's another Black-owned brand that's within kind of the streetwear lane of clothing and sneakers. And they actually, I think that's how they found me, because they follow them, and Marcus and I share a lot of each other's stuff on a consistent basis. And so they reached out and they were like, we love what you're doing. If at any point, you would like to work together, just go ahead and reach out. And they've been nothing more than amazing, because they take that hard burden off of me of having to manage the orders themselves, the processing, the shipping out. They really allow me to just speak and build that traction up in that volume of people wanting to know what it's about for the release, and then he handles the back end of it, and it's absolutely beautiful. He's helping me, with the new design, so it's definitely a true partnership that's worked out extremely well. And if you guys haven't seen his brand, I would say take a look, because it's very simple, it's very clean. But that's what attracted me to it. Like the friends and family release, which Mark has access to. I actually borrowed from the inspiration of one of their releases. They did like a cream berry, which is like a sail and a red design. So of course, I'm waiting for those fours to come in and the shirt to come in. That will all flow together.
Can you give us their Instagram at?
Yeah, it's just at a Fresh Culture Clothing. I don't think let me see if they have actual clothing on the end. I know it's just a Fresh. We've tagged each other a million times. Just a Fresh Culture. So AFRESH and then culture.
How was your experience through the process of creating your own T-shirt? And how did it make you feel to see the finished product?
It's wild. I'm floored every day when people they DM me. They say, hey, you know, they'll let me know in the comment section, my shirt's arriving today. I can't wait to get home from work. And I'm just like, people are excited over something that I created. I always had it in my mind that, you know, of course it'd be cool to have something associated with you on a shirt that people can wear, but I didn't want it to. In the end, like I had thought about designing shirts before where it was mostly just about me on the front of the shirt, but you know, looking at it, I didn't want it to be just me plastered on the shirt. I wanted it to be something people that support me connect with, and I could be somewhere on the shirt, right? So the logo for the shirt is like right on the very bottom there. So it's on the bottom. It has my logo, which if people don't look at my logo, don't know, it talks with TJ, but it's the silhouette of a Jordan 1, and that's what the with is within because that is my favorite silhouette of any retro. And I wanted that message to be something everybody could relate to. And everybody always jokes and laughs in my chat. You know, Two Switch Crew, they've taken on that as their own act your age, not your shoe size. And they go around and yell it at people when they're acting childish. So that's what I had to run with. And everybody just kept saying, TJ, when are we going to get act your shoe size merch? And I was like, okay, you guys want it? If you want it, fine. Well, I'll give it to you. But it's gonna come at a price. So that price was just simply not it being about me, it being about something else. So they finally got it. When I told my idea to Dante, because he's the owner of Fresh Culture, he said, "All right, bet I'll get some mock-ups for you and I'll come back." And it doesn't become real until you see the mock-up. And then you gauge people's reactions to it. And everybody was super excited. And when it comes to colorways, I'm learning this. So how I may choose to style something, it can be based on color theory. Do I want to do complementary? Do I want to do analogous? Versus I have to remember, like everybody might not think of that the same way. So I was like, okay, let's just play it safe. A bread colorway is something that everybody will love. Almost every sneakerhead has some kind of bread sneaker in their collection, right? It can be a Chicago, it can be a black toe, it can be a bread, it can be a bread toe one, it can be a bread 4, it can be any number of shoes, right? It can be the black and red 13. So I said, okay, I think that's safe. I think that's something that a lot of people appreciate. And let's just go with it. So as soon as we got the mock-ups done and I got my shirt in first, oh my goodness, like to put your own shirt on and put your own merch on, buy clothing every single week. It's a great feeling. I will say that.
It's definitely different.
It definitely is.
And it's definitely relevant to how a couple of people are acting these days.
It's a lot, right? And I mean, it's not that. This is what I've learned. So you control very little in life. When the more self-aware you become, you control very little, right? Your circle of influence, there are different levels to it. And the farther out you go, the less you control, which usually has to do with other people's behavior, what they say, what they do towards you. And the closer things get to home, it's really about how you choose to react to something, right? And more so about how you choose to respond. I don't think reacting. Right? Look at if you just choose to react to something, you could often regret how you may have chosen to behave.
Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that?
Yeah, instead of reacting, you know, my mom told me time and time again when I was growing up, even when I became a young adult, you know, don't ever let somebody else's emotions control the way you choose to behave. And so just take the time to stop and think about, okay, so-and-so said X, so-and-so did Y. What are you going to do about it? Right. And at the end of the day, you can control how you choose to respond. So I choose to carry myself a certain way. And in the end, that plays out how it plays out. I never fault anybody if they choose to react different ways to different things because we're all our own individuals, right? As much as I want somebody to respect how I will react to something, I will give that same respect to how somebody else chooses to react. But you always have to know, however you act can eventually have consequences.
That's true.
Definitely. My mom used to tell me, think twice, act once. So that's something I definitely try to take with me all throughout life. Most of these people in the chat and the three of you, you know, I can be very ignorant and goofy at times, but I try my I try my best to think before I speak or act. And thank God for these two brown individuals, my co-hosts, who have definitely helped me out in some areas. Um, bro, don't ever.
Mark, you acting real Drakish. You acting real
Oh,
Drakish.
sorry.
No, what?
I ruined the moment. I'm sorry.
Hey, nah, but no, but seriously, like I definitely appreciate at your age, not your shoe size. It's something my mother told me a lot growing up. And even now, like me acting my shoe size, like I can't act like a 12-year-old. So it makes me kind of grow up. I am me personally, I am grateful to see the things that you're doing for our culture. I'm glad to see somebody that I know taking a stand in an area that I cannot take a certain stand in because of my career. So I applaud you. I'm grateful to you. I will continue to support you behind the scenes. I thank you for coming on this show and actually expanding upon what your mission is and the things that you've been doing. It's definitely necessary. And honestly, just keep going. Like you're gonna have a lot of people talk about you. Use that as your motivation. But I'm grateful to that. I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate it, and I know that I talk with a lot of people that are in different professions, right? Some of the people that I'm closest to now, they're officers and they're in positions of power, and I ended up hearing their struggle of trying to do their best to make sure that people remember why they're in the job,
Right.
what it is to be, the fact that they're there to protect and make everybody feel safe, right? When you hear someone they're stressed and they're stressed out because they are fearing for their family members that are out there protesting for the rights of us, but also they're worried about their officers if people who aren't there to peacefully protest want to act ignorant, and then they can no longer just worry about protecting. They have to worry about then actually going out and doing the parts of their job they don't like. So it's so much that goes into it. And you're right, everybody can't be in the position maybe to be as open, I guess maybe as vocal as they would like to be. And so I'm glad that I can do that. I truly appreciate it. People don't know, like you, it is easy to let things roll off your back, but to know you have friends that will constantly encourage you to keep going, right? Like Mark is one of them. I try to keep in mind that you have no idea who's watching, right? I have kids that approach me at Kids Foot Locker all the time now that are either watching my platform and I didn't know it, especially for young Black women that are in this space. I want them to feel as comfortable, as confident as ever. I don't care what it is, right? I came into this space doing something very different than what was the norm. I don't just get up here and show shoes. Like recently, I have a video a month now where I'm showing from June to November, hey, I'm putting aside X amount per month because I know there are 3 specific shoes I want. From December, there should be zero reason why bills aren't paid and gifts aren't provided to the people that I care about around Christmas time just because I was negligent in paying attention to what I wanted to do, during that time also. So hopefully those lessons do resonate with young adults because I want them to have an easier time, right? Life should be easier for future generations because we're teaching them the error of our ways and trying to get them in a better spot to be able to.
Definitely. So my final question about your merch would be, how does it make you feel to see the amount of support that you received? I know you touched on it, but we didn't elaborate to the fullest aspect. So how does it make you feel when you see someone tag you in that post to say, I got my Tjs TShirt shirt on, or I supported Breonna Taylor? Like that will forever, like puzzle pieces for you.
I always have people who know, or people who are close friends with me. They know very rarely am I ever speechless. I usually have something to say, but every time I am tagged on social media, I'm definitely speechless for at least a good 10 seconds because people can choose to go spend money on anything they want. Right? Their $25 could be used towards anything else, and they're using it to support me. Like they want to walk around with my name on the bottom of their shirt. I guess it lets you know you're doing something right. I will say that it lets you know you're doing something right. It lets me know to keep moving forward, regardless of if I probably have more self doubt than anybody else. Than people that can dislike me, I probably have more self doubt just because I don't ever choose to get too high up on things. I try to stay pretty even kill, but to know that people want to rock my stuff, it's humbling beyond words. Like I'll tell you guys, within the first 3 days. 4 days. Most people don't know this. 60 shirts sold in the first 3 days. And then when the pre-order window was only open 2 weeks, and it was over 170, I think so.
Damn.
And so when I think about that, it also lets me know too that, you know, in terms of, we always say, instead of trying to pull up a seat at the table, you could very surely go build your own table. And so now I know, just as much as we could want certain seats at certain tables, and don't get me wrong, I want to have seats at bigger tables, but that's because I think it pays to have a voice from somebody down on the ground to be able to help, especially when it comes to women's product lines and what they're doing with women's sneakers, right? Have somebody that is actually there as a female in the culture to kind of give you a perspective on things. But in terms of myself, you know, I've been an ambassador for different brands. I'm sponsored by certain brands now, and I've done promotion for brands. And you know, it doesn't always go in fairness. It's not always in good faith. You just kind of learn that in business, right? You take your losses with the wins that you have. But I think it proved to me, oh, let's just say I make X amount for this company. Okay, that's cool. Let's just say they don't make good on it. You know, maybe they don't show anything back in terms of appreciation. And then you do your own stuff, your own merch, your own brand, and you realize, had you just looked at the raw revenue numbers, you make double of what you make for them.
It's true.
So instead of trying to sit at your table, that's just fine. My table actually outpaces yours.
Hey, build
Right.
your own.
Right. And you definitely built your own. I mean, you started from the ground up. I got to see you, got to work with you, and I just,
Yeah.
I like to see, I mean, I see the growth. I've told you multiple times that the platform that you are on now is nothing like what you're about to hit. I mean, I saw big things from you, TJ, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. People just don't know. So Mark and I would work. I would always work, because I first just started out working on Saturdays. And so I would always work every big release with Mark, right? So you get to talk about all of, you know, either the history issues coming out. You get a different perspective of the business acumen that comes with, you know, reselling shoes and being able to have another stream of income. That's why I will never knock people that do that, because then I don't understand how people are upset about it, because for me, it's a legal means of providing another stream of income.
Yep.
Right? What did this pandemic teach us? If you are going to leverage everything on one stream of income, that's fragile and it's fickle and it can be gone in the blink of an eye.
That's it right
That's
there.
the unfortunate part about a lot of creative freelancers. When there aren't national or big campaigns that you need creators for, what then happens? They either have to pivot on a dime, and instead of being on somebody else's platform all the time and being shown and paid for it, they had to figure out if they could then do it themselves with very minimal resources. Some could, some couldn't. And when you have leveraged it where my career has nothing to do with what I do, you know, creatively in sneakers. And I'm fortunate enough to be somebody that works in an essential field. So it meant that creatively, the downtime that we had, it just gave me time to expand and to focus more on what I wanted to focus on, right? And that was moving into fits more and just different things that I didn't have the time for. And that meant expanding different streams of income, new contracts, and like Mark said, different things that are happening now come next week. So I see where it'll go. Some of the pressure I think that's put on me by friends of where they see me going, I'm just like, whoa, if I fail now I'm gonna feel terrible. But I don't think I will. I think I just have to, remember to probably believe in myself as much as everybody else does.
Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations on that next chapter.
Thank you.
Mars, I'm gonna switch it over back to you.
Back to me.
Yeah, for the music aspect.
Back to me. Yeah, we're gonna roll right into the music segment of the show. We're gonna keep TJ on with us. She's gonna talk to us about a few things, current events in the music industry right now. So what's first on the list? You want to talk about Kanye now, Tyrone? You want to talk about your boy Kanye?
Man, listen.
You want to talk about President Kanye?
One, I'm grateful. When he said, hey, I want to run for president, first thing I thought, some stupid idiot is going to vote for this man. And that face is horrible. Look at the dude behind him. Don't even concentrate on Kanye. We're going to start from the back and work forward. Buddy behind him is trying to figure out, like, man, he ain't about to do this. He ain't crying for real. This face is worse than Jordan. He looked like right after he made this face, he had the lip quiver.
No, he really
did. Buddy. Come on, man.
Oh.
Did y'all see the clip where where the girl started questioning and she took off her mask like, it's me. Buddy ran off stage because he was in trouble and he didn't want to face that young lady.
Oh my God.
Hey,
I think that he definitely needs help, and I don't feel like that aspect of it is funny, but the fact that he thinks like he just, I don't know where his mind is. You know what I'm saying? It's just he needs help. And I heard Kim was she put out a statement or whatever about saying, as an adult you can't really force him to do things, and I understand that, but
that's true.
We have to understand as a Black community that these triggers show early on in age, and we need to address them then.
Yeah, after his second album.
Years old dealing with this, 50 years old, you should be, as parents, I'm not a parent, but, as parents or people who help raise children, these triggers or these red flags, they should be addressed in the beginning. Put your kids in therapy. Get them the help that they need when you see these things happening so that they're not, having outbursts like this at that age on the platform that he has.
I'll say this. So I grew up in a household where my mom was a social worker for 25 plus years, dealing specifically in adult mental health. So I was just probably exposed to more conversations than a lot of people were, having to learn about the different disorders, the different triggers, the events that occur, right? Because yes, when you deal with any type of dissociative disorders, mental health disorders, a lot of times they start in early adulthood. The first break psychotic issues can normally surface anywhere between 18 and 19, and certainly they come to pass at about early 20s or so. It is easy to say, hey, catch the triggers, but a lot of people are simply just not well educated. They don't understand them. They may write them off as different things, right? Because you can have a depressive episode if you go through a breakup, if you go through the loss of a job, if you go through a major life change, right? You can have a depressive episode. Doesn't necessarily mean that you are depressed in the sense that you have chemical imbalances that cannot be managed without actual clinical therapy and medication. So maybe not understanding those, I would say that's just not understood. I don't think in a lot of communities, certainly Black communities. And yeah, as it goes through, I think money can mask a lot of things, right? Because, when you are an artist, you're allowed to be eclectic. You're allowed to be different. You're allowed to be very over the top. You're allowed to be extreme, and we'll write it off as, oh, they're extreme as an artist. But when you see the actual mental breakdown, because I've had the unfortunate experience of seeing that up close, somebody's going through that and they're bipolar, it is extreme. It is scary. It's scary for them. It's scary for you. When they are an adult, that's why trying to get adults help for their mental health issues. It's difficult. You have to convince a judge that the person is unfit enough where they need to have power of attorney given to somebody else. That's not an easy thing to do, right? You go through manic bouts, you go through depressive bouts, you go through calm periods, you go through manic periods. Let's just say you go in front of a judge and it's a calm period. Well, judges are going to see a reason that they need somebody to take over power of attorney for them. Right. So I think, I don't try to dive deep into somebody's life because I understand what it's like when somebody's dealing with something like that. Yeah. But to see somebody's wife that loves and cares about them, if she's pleading for compassion, it's because she sees the whole story of it. So, I think it's unfortunate, right? You see the breakdown of someone's kind of psyche in front of you. That's sad in itself. I think it's a little more scary only because you know the massive following that he has. And what if people are listening to that? What if people follow that as like a religion or something of that sort? Then what? Right? Because they said, oh, he's going to run for president. My first mind was, oh, do we know how elections work?
Right.
Majority vote. Well, really, the electoral vote is what counts. We know that. But when you still need majority vote, and if at any point a candidate has votes taken away from them, that can have a very damning effect.
Danny said the media really tried to make him look crazy. I can say for myself, I haven't watched the full video. I get the alerts like, oh, Kanye just said yada, and it's on the Breakfast Club in the morning, and that's the only thing that I hear. Charlamagne the God had a good point this morning. I don't know if it's true or not, but they say every time Kanye is about to drop an album, it's something that's crazy that pops up in the media, and then boom, his album drops. Yeah, just so his name.
And that's kind of what I took for it. And I don't think it's just Kanye. You got to look at people like 50. Like 50 is he to some degree 50 is a bully, and he will just about smash anybody. Look at what 50 did right after Nick Cannon had his moment. Mm-hmm. 50 started taking shots at Nick. Nick took a shot back at 50. Like, it's people who just, I don't know. I think they just do stuff just to hype up whatever it is that they have going. 50's about to launch different spin-offs from the Power series they're supposed to come out, but
ready for
everything. I think everybody just does things that's in that industry to some degree. They might actually have some mental health issues, but they also do things to grab your attention. To be like, all right, so let me see what this is about, because I know he's about to come out with an album. He's going to say something on this album about something that he did, and it's never on the album. It's just like, listen to this.
Yep, just to get your attention grabbers.
Right.
Pretty much.
Anything he really puts out is an attention grabber. I mean, seeing his Twitter account is crazy, because, it's just, if that's how his thoughts come out, and, it's just so sporadic, you never know what he's going to say. And
it's the sporadic nature that is what's concerning to those that understand mental health. That's why. Mm-hmm. It can be entertaining, and it people will pay attention, and it'll gain traction for an album. But again, like, at the end of the day, you have to look at everything else, like, beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely
agree. Tommy Lynn said, saying the Shade Room probably took the worst parts and posted it. Shade Room has a huge following base, so you're gonna see Kanye West said this. He said a lot of stuff that's just mind blowing. I wouldn't put him in front of a camera if you asked me. If someone has mental health issues, I wouldn't just throw you out there to a mass of people.
Yeah,
because whatever you're gonna say is gonna get misconstrued.
I think Kanye is he's kind of like putting Kanye in front of the microphone. He's playing Russian roulette sometimes. Like, sometimes Kanye can speak and he can be so deep that it just draws people. And if you're not careful as to paying attention to what he's saying, like, you're definitely going to be drawn to the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. It's just like the snake off of Jungle Book. Got the little eyes, and he hypnotizing you, and you just going right into a trap. Like, not necessarily a trap, but the wrong thing. So,
and Danny, that's not to say that everything portrayed in full context doesn't make sense. because it very well could. I'm never saying that it doesn't, right? I'm never saying that everything in full context, because I know there have been certain parts that they've only shown ever of him, where when you've watched the full video, it's a totally different
Right.
perspective once you've seen it. My thing is just always, okay, I get that a lot of things can be shock and awe. The media will portray only the worst parts. But at some point, when it comes to the ebbs and flows of his behavior, that's what I would care more about. Damn you being an artist. You're a father and a husband.
Definitely.
So those, if your well-being in that sense is concerning to those that really love and care about you, I would care more about that. Damn if you never put out another album.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah. All right, we can move on from him.
Yeah, that's a touchy subject.
Can we talk about J. Cole?
Go ahead.
J. Cole put out 2 songs. The Climb Back and Lion King on Ice.
Fire.
But Lion King on Ice, I promise to Jesus. It's only 3 minutes. I got them pulled up. It's only 3 minutes and 31 seconds. And the one thing that I hate about music is when good music is put out, it seems like it is the shortest song ever. And it just like it irritates my soul. The Climb Back is definitely a cold track. The Lion King on Ice, I guess more or less just listening to the lyrics and where I'm at in life, that whole song to me right now is definitely on repeat. Like I've been waiting on a J. Cole album for a minute, and I want to see how the rest of this album definitely turns out. But that Lion King on Ice is on repeat in my car.
I didn't really listen to the last J. Cole album. It just didn't catch me like that. Forest Hill Drive, I can sing every word to Forest Hill Drive.
Hey, I'm baby Jesus.
Forest Hill Drive that's J. Cole for me. I didn't listen to any other J. Cole. Forest Hill Drive, I was bumping that in the back of Foot Locker while I was putting away shoes. I didn't skip a single song.
Right.
This Lion King on Ice felt like that J. Cole.
Yeah.
Man.
I was listening to J. Cole when he didn't even have an album. It was a mixtape or something. The one song was Show Me Something. I even got one of his verses tattooed on my leg. Show Me Something. If y'all haven't heard it, listen to it. You have to get it on YouTube. I don't think it's on Apple Music, but that's how I was introduced to J. Cole. And I love that song specifically. And, this is I'm glad to see him coming back because, we met the rap game missed him. And they need
right.
Definitely.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to dive into the 2 singles yet. I mean, for me, I still listen to Cricket Smile at least like once a day. Yes. For the love of TLC too, but just with that song, like the fact that everything he said in it, I mean, when you just listen to the lyrics, and then also, I mean, from previous songs that he's talked about, right, when he went on to discuss dudes will leave a woman and have her raise a baby, and what kind of man is that to then go on and start a whole new other family like you actually didn't do anything. So I think he'll address those topics people don't necessarily want to, and the way he does it, you got to listen to it.
J. Cole is deep. Like Forest Hill Drive, I felt like I lived his life. Like I felt like I was just walking with the dude. Yeah, bro, we just really went to the gas station. That's how I felt.
Yeah, his lyrics are they're deep, but they're easy to understand. You get what I'm saying? It's so relatable.
That part.
Like he says so much, but so little at the same time. So I definitely mess with J. Cole.
Yeah. I don't know. I love R&B music. Jacquees and Chris Brown just came out with a single that came out today called "Put In Work."
Sounds like a movie.
Haven't heard it yet.
I'm gonna listen to it afterwards. It sounds like a movie.
I'm not gonna say much, but majority of the times you throw Chris Brown on a record,
and the king of R&B on the record.
Fire. Go Crazy is on repeat for me right now.
Man, listen, you definitely have a banger. I did play this a couple times, and I had to add it to a playlist. But yeah, like I know.
You hyping this song up and it's trash, bro. I'm gonna talk about you.
Listen,
that's fine. They talked about Jesus.
I'm not gonna accept you.
But listen, like me personally, there are certain artists that, like, I couldn't stand John Legend. When John Legend first came out, he did Ordinary People. I could not stand him. It took me to listen to multiple John Legend songs, and now I can honestly say, like, I have John Legend songs in some of my playlists. Like, I mess with Buddy on certain stuff, but yeah, I've
Have you
stumbled
heard
upon
his
some new music.
Conversations in the Dark?
No, you gonna make
It's a good song.
That's
It's
his
a good
new
song.
one, right?
Yeah, that's one of his newest ones.
Yeah.
Conversations in the Dark.
His
now.
new album is it's a banger.
Like Chris Brown
At
and
first
Young
I was
Thug
like,
go
oh, I
crazy
can't
in
do
City
it.
Girls.
At
What
first
was that?
I couldn't do it, but his John Legend's new album is decent.
Conversation. All right, so I got it pulled up. So thank you, TJ. I'm definitely gonna listen to that tonight. So
I'm
they
gonna hit
said
my
I'm
Randy
wilding right
Jackson.
now. Why am I wilding?
That's enough for me, dog. I can't get with John Legend. I don't know why. I don't
Man, you
know
ain't messing with
why.
ordinary people, Mark. Come on, man.
Man, no,
Not
listen.
ordinary. That's
Them
why.
people wasn't epic. Them
He was
people
like the
wasn't
light skin. He
ordinary.
was like the light skin mascot when you was growing up, Mark.
He feels
Man,
like
listen, he was.
he feels like a meal that his music to me. This is a slap in the face to him. I'm sorry. His music to me is like a meal you don't like. Like
Did you like the song he did with Ludacris or no?
Man,
no,
listen.
You ain't like that one either?
I just refuse to listen to his
Mark probably
music.
never even heard it.
Man, listen.
Probably haven't.
You know what?
It's
You gonna
probably
make
on
don't
Hot
make me dive
107.9.
into don't make me
It
dive
was
into this catalog
it
and
was
pull
on
out a
the
John Legend song.
It's just like when I think of John Legend, I just think of White Rice Plain. Like I don't.
Hey, Mark, I heard you're gonna have to dance to that at your wedding. So
Which
you
one?
might wanna,
Sheesh.
one of them, but you're gonna start listening.
I can't do John
According
Legend.
to Tommy,
The best time to make it a Drake song.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
played at the wedding.
I can't do it.
Man.
Yeah,
If
look,
anybody's looking for a decent John Legend song,
Green
John
Light.
Legend's Action. You said Green Light?
Green Light, yes. Like that was the song with Andre 3000.
Okay, now 3 Stacks.
Okay, I
rock
can give
with
you that
3
one.
Stacks.
I'll take
That
that
was
one.
definitely fire. Have y'all heard Actions by John Legend?
I feel
You
like
know I
have.
haven't.
I don't think I have.
You have listen to Actions by
Let me
John
pull it
Legend.
up.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
listen. Actions by John Legend is a very. It's kind of for me. It's a think twice, act one song, but it's a very deep song, and you might have to listen to it twice, 3 times. But when you hear the beat, I guarantee you think of Dre, and then it just has like this John Legend feel to it, and it's dope. That beat to the intro to that song instantly like grabs my attention, made me say, so what is Jonathan about to do? And then Jonathan just it's very, very dope.
He gives me a weird vibe. It's like, all of us can go to SneakerCon, and then John Legend would come and he'd be wearing K-Swiss. That's the vibe he gives me. It's just a weird vibe.
It won't even be Gary
My K-Swiss. I rock my K-Swiss.
The uncle that gives you $5 when everybody else gives you 20. That's what he feels like to me.
And he the one giving out quarters and pennies for Halloween instead of
Somebody said Mark working his way out of the light skin mafia.
Man, listen. So I'm teased constantly, okay, by 2 people, and one of them is Wolf. That I have this light skin mafia / coalition that occurs. Apparently, I have initiations to happen.
The light skin coalition. That's new. I gotta use that.
Because I am, I'm Splash Brothers, so Curry and Clay, and then Devin Booker is my 3rd favorite player. So people are like, so is this the whole little light skin coalition? Did you induct Zach LaVine? Did you bring in, Lonzo? See, they claim I'm the ringleader. Like we have.
Yeah, they said you're the ringleader.
Yeah, we got meetings on Sunday nights. Yeah.
Man, y'all horrible. Plain white rice, the disrespect.
The had to hold it down since the VP was out injured, aka Steph Curry. Okay, our CFO has been injured, aka Clay, but it's okay. Full force.
TJ, I got a question.
Again.
This is just because you're a Golden State fan. How do you feel about Mr. Durant going bye-bye?
I never minded it. Like I was probably a very different fan when everything happened, because when he chose to leave OKC, this is the way I looked at it. So let's just say you was in a relationship with somebody for 9 years, and you knew you wanted it. You knew that you put every and anything into that relationship. You were promised a ring. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. I value you. We gonna give it to you. It never happened. Okay. Eventually, like an angry black woman, he said, "Enough is enough. I'm gonna go where I feel like the value will happen in the time frame I'm told it's gonna happen." Right? And he came in. To me, I think it actually just showed Steph Curry's prowess as a leader, because somebody could pivot their whole game, not have an ego in terms of needing to be the one with the ball. Right? Golden State will always be Curry City. They watched him grow up from the scrawny kid who could barely fit into a size small jersey.
Curry City? Did I hear that correctly?
Huh?
Did you say Curry City?
I said Golden State will always look at Curry as the child of that city. That was part of the.
I thought you called it Curry City. I was gonna say, Jesus Christ, they done renamed it.
And he wasn't as loved that he felt as Curry was. You just have to understand, like, it's Golden State. Like, they watch Curry grow literally from a child into an MVP, right? He's special to them. So when he came onto the team, I thought, awesome. You get arguably one, one of the top 2 players in the world. Okay, awesome. The dynamic had to shift of how the ball moved around because it was also going through him. I didn't have a problem with that. Now, the issue I had with him coming to the team, no one cared 2009 through 2015 when I was a fan. No one cared. No one gave me crap about it. Oh, we're so happy for you. And, your team persevered and you guys won. And look at little Curry getting his respect now. No one cared until Durant came. And then it was just, let's just be anti-Warriors because now you have Kevin Durant on your team. It got to the point I was like, listen, when is this going to be done? When is this going to be? It doesn't matter, right?
If Kevin Durant was in Space Jam,
about it, I can let him go somewhere else. That's fine. And so he decided to leave. I was not salty about him leaving. He is a grown man doing what was best and fulfilling for him. We have to stop being so selfish of what serves me versus what is serving that person. If he wasn't fulfilled in Golden State, why wouldn't you want somebody to go somewhere where they're going to be truly happy?
I get that. Mark, you got a question. Oh, no, never mind. I do.
Both of y'all got a question.
I seen my name highlighted. I'm like, wait a minute.
It says, when starting sneaker collections, do you recommend storage containers and does not having a box depreciate the value of a shoe? If you plan on selling the shoe, hell yes, because it's gonna go down. But for me, now that I've moved kind of into the collecting aspect of it, I don't really care about a box. I mean, I'll offer you cheaper because you don't have a box, but
I'm definitely about to sucker punch you if you ain't got a box. I'm not going to wear that box. I do not care about the box, but because I am a very educated sneakerhead, I know that you having the OG box to certain shoes, that's either going to jump the price or it's going to deflate the price. If you ain't got that box, you taking some money off of the price of this shoe, buddy.
Yeah, I get a lot of retros low at a decent price on eBay because they'll come without a box, so the people know they charge a certain price for it.
Right. Yeah. I keep my boxes because the main reason I'm not paying for no containers. I'm just not.
Nope.
Not now. I can't say I'll never do it, but not right now. Maybe when I buy a house, that might be the move, but I'm not.
Next year, God bless you.
I'm gonna stick to the boxes.
If I buy a shoe that I'm spending over $200 for, I need the box just because like now Nike comes with those little like UPC barcodes where you can see where it's coming from. I mean,
for me, collab boxes are different and unique, so I like to keep my collab boxes. Like my acronym Presto boxes, they're different. They're very similar to the Fear Guy Air Raid boxes, just like the all-white boxes. Now I have shelves, I have containers, and I have boxes. So I have a mixture of all three. Understand this though, your containers take up more space. So they take up more space. Let's just say even if you have like, I don't know, like a 70 shoe collection, you trying to outfit all of that is going to cost you a good chunk of money.
Right.
So I'm probably just going to drop a good $200 on IKEA and get a large white bookshelf unit And because of the size of my shoes being a 6 to a 6.5, I'll be able to store like 65, 70 shoes on there.
Right.
Word said boxes equal spiders.
Spiders.
No, thank you.
I never had spiders in my boxes. Spider, yo.
You let Kevin Durant call out of one of them boxes. I bet you go ahead and switch to one of these bad boys.
Right, 'cause I don't have no bugs, but I have never
what?
seen one. So thankfully,
The itsy bitsy spider.
but I have never seen any spiders or any bugs come out of these boxes. So
Yeah, I've never seen spiders.
now, word, if they come out, I'm coming after you for talking it up.
Hey, we flying to Philly and we dragging both of them, and we taking shoes out that room. They got the magic light
and the socks
and socks. Hey, I'm gonna have a whole tie-dye series, not a collection. I'm gonna have a series.
Somebody said you got one of those pop-up things, Tyron. It said you got a little pop-up collection.
This is fake. Yeah, this is fake.
It says spiders. They flock to your cardboard.
Man, when that surfaced on Instagram, somebody told me they were on a Zoom chat for work, and somebody really asked them, like, was it real behind them or was it fake? And they were like, excuse me?
Right.
That's a flex that I would do.
We know you. We know you would.
I'd buy it. I'm not going to lie. I might buy one next week and have it for the next episode.
We definitely going to know the difference.
Will said it's a green screen.
Definitely.
It is a green. More for music?
I don't think we wrapped it up.
J. Cole, Jacquees. No, that's all I got. That's all I knew. That's new that I heard that I would want to mention. Before we go too far, I do got something else for music. The versus battle. DMX and Snoop. Now, DMX, Snoop actually asked DMX to begin that with a prayer, which I thought is different and it's fitting. But if anybody has ever listened to a DMX CD, and when homie prays, I promise to God, and this is no disrespect, we go almost to the throne, to some awkward place that's starting to slowly come back down to the valley, and then we just go straight to like, and so give it to him. He started barking, and you looking like, where in God's name am I? But
he barked in his prayer?
Dude, I swear to
Sometimes.
God. He barked at God, and I don't know if God. It probably thundered after he barked. I'm telling you, it was weird.
Okay, give me an example.
Nah.
No.
Go ahead, Tyron.
No. And there was
He just need to watch it. Mark, you will probably enjoy it.
Yeah, you just gotta watch it. It's on Versus. It's definitely on Versus.
I agree with this comment. Nobody wants to smoke with Lil Wayne in a versus battle.
No.
I said that a few weeks ago.
Listen, dude, catalog is stupid.
At all.
Hey,
90s, baby. Every kid that grew up in the 90s, we all just gonna be sitting there waiting. We all just gonna be waiting for every song that come on. We gonna know every word.
Yep.
Listen, from 500 Degrees to wherever we at now to every drought mixtape. Listen, Lil Wayne's catalog. Okay, there's a Martin Luther King Jr. Street in every city.
Yeah.
In Cincinnati, we have Reading Road. In Atlanta, they have Peachtree. If you're familiar with Atlanta, Peachtree is the longest street ever. Okay, it's longer than the Green Mile. It's longer than what's the wall in China? The Great Wall of China. Lil Wayne's catalog is ridiculously retarded. There's nobody on God's green earth except for baby Jesus, who we haven't found, that spits bars as an infant. Okay, there's nobody who has a catalog that extensive. Buddy just goes in the lab and just freestyles and drinks and smokes. Yeah, and half of it you can understand.
Now, I'm gonna ask all y'all the same question. Who would you put up against Lil Wayne?
Jesus, Kirk Franklin.
That's about it. Jay-Z is the only person you could do, and I refuse on my life to pick a side there. So that's just not happening.
I'm gonna pick Wayne. Only person I'm gonna pick other than Wayne is Kirk Franklin, because that might get me back into heaven.
I think it's the two of the culture who would not. Drake? They wouldn't even be allowed to lose. It would be Jay-Z. That's it.
No,
yeah, I'd say
Drake.
I'd say Drake.
You would put Drake up against Wayne?
No.
I'm saying it would be
half of Drake's early stuff has Wayne on it.
Right.
I'm saying I would choose Drake just because the wave that he brought in, music is different.
No.
Music is so different. I'm talking about from Take Care to now. Oh my God.
You trying to go
agree, music is different. Man,
you can't even remember that.
I'm saying if we going hit for hit, I'm choosing Drake. Hit for hit. I'm talking about radio. I'm talking about all that. Hit for hit.
I still don't know if I think it will also depend on the demographic judging though. Because like the new age kids, yeah, they're definitely gonna take Drake. I think us remembering Wayne's old stuff, I might still give Wayne the edge over Drake.
Right. Yep.
Somebody said Eminem. I think
Eminem don't have enough.
Eminem is pretty extensive, but you have some people that they either really love Eminem or it's just really
they hate him. Yeah, it's no in between.
It's no in between. Like for me,
battle rap is
loved him.
Battle rap is different though. I'm talking about. I want to hear your song, Lollipop. That mug rolled. I was in the living room with my mom for MTV Awards. You know how embarrassed I was to hear Lollipop, but I was there on the bus.
Listen, I was the person. Look, my mom got me Eminem, and I was like, listen, I had my mom liking Eminem. My mom was the mom who shocked people when she cursed, okay, at basketball games. So I got my mom to respect him, hands down. So my thing, I would pick Eminem, but I'm very biased when it comes to Eminem. Like even with his newest he put out, I run it.
He said he dissed his mama. Y'all sleep on him.
Have you seen his mom? From his mom to Kim, neither one deserve a whole lot of I'm just being honest with you.
Man.
Right.
I think the only person that got Eminem to respect as a female is his daughter.
No problem.
I mean, I just put Eminem in a battle rap area. I don't know why I don't put him in the. When I think hip hop, I don't think Eminem. I put him in a battle rap though.
Yeah, I'm like, where
I want to see battle rap Eminem.
Where I had a drawing. Like, you remember that album? Like, if you flip through the book and it was like his middle finger that was sticking out. I drew that and I put it right up on my wall. My mom was like, "Really? This is what you do in your free time?" Or when I got mad at my mom, I would play cleaning out my closet, and so she would come in.
You would probably.
Go right ahead, clean it out. You won't have nothing back
here.
Have
you ever been hated or discriminated against? I have.
Yeah.
Mama came in and kicking down the door with a belt.
I've shocked people before because I've done the entire final rap for 8 Mile, and I just sat there. There was nothing. The movie wasn't on. I was just sitting there, look, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." So between Eminem and NF are two of my all-time favorite rappers. A lot of people will liken NF to Eminem, but NF is a little bit of a different caliber. He also doesn't curse and different things like that.
Blind Fury is better than Eminem.
With his mom.
Debate with J. Cole.
Who?
Blind Fury from 106 and Park is better than Eminem. Debate with J. Cole.
Blind Fury?
Blind Fury. Hey,
okay, once again, I would rather take NF against Eminem. NF just doesn't have enough of a catalog to go battle, I don't think, song for song with Eminem. That's just because he hasn't been in long enough. Like, if you actually know NF's music and you listen to the way he will go at people or different topics, and then you look at what they both went through in terms of their childhood and how they put it into music, those are the two that you should liken to each other. I don't know who the hell Blind Fury is.
Right. You don't know who Blind Fury is. Where were you at?
I don't think any of us did.
Y'all don't know who Blind Fury is from 106 in Park?
I was like this, dog.
Listen, when I'm not gonna lie, I part way stopped watching once Terrence and them got on. Like, they were cool for a minute.
Okay.
I've heard of the name, but I can't picture.
Listen,
what happened.
Blind Fury, we got to wrap this up. But Blind Fury was literally some blind dude who would get on 106 and Park back when they had Free and AJ, and they would do the battle raps. Blind Fury would smash.
I do remember him.
He would smash everybody. And the funny thing was, people was in homie ear telling him what the other people had on or what they looked like.
I do remember
and
that.
He would crush everything that stepped in front of him. And it was so bad. Everybody else was looking at him like, dude, he's blinded. He is crushing you right now.
In a battle rap, he would probably win, but I don't know, does somebody win in a battle rap with his actual tracks?
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
saying.
different. Some people can
That is the
freestyle.
difference.
Like
Right.
why can't I think of his name? God, it was one rapper. He was amazing at freestyle. He did the hotel or whatever, the one hotel song or whatever. Why can't I think of his
Cassidy?
Cassidy.
Hey,
Amazing freestyle
Cassidy
rapper.
used to be an animal. Then he went to jail and he came back and he was
amazing freestyle rapper, and everything else just kind of his actual albums would just fall by the wayside. It's different.
Well, if
You can say the same about Gucci Man too. Gucci Man's mixtapes was hard.
Yeah,
hard.
I think some of Wayne's mixtapes was better than his actual albums.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know. People try to go up against Eminem. Not to mention, you can't like his whole cadence, flow, the lengths that he will go for certain songs. Not everybody's gonna go there. Like if you don't know his song "Darkness" on his latest album, the whole song is about a shooter detailing what he's going to do and what he's like setting up for like a mass shooting, and he uses sound clips from mass shootings in different parts of the country as the outro. Like that's just a different level. He's always willing to take it. I don't think most people could do that.
I mean, so
she would pick Joe Budden to go against Eminem.
I was just about to say Joe Budden, but as a joke. But Joe was actually live. So to what you just said, TJ, there's a song by Nas, and I might be showing my age, but there's a song by Nas called Rewind, where he rapped an entire song backwards. And you literally had to listen to that song to figure out what he was saying. And when you figured it out, it was like, this dude he's a genius.
Yeah,
so it was around the time he was battling Jay-Z.
Genius for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what that reminds me of.
He said we need effed up Joe Budden, sober Joe Budden is weak.
I'm gonna take drunk Joe because drunk Joe gonna say whatever he wants.
He's got to be a chill Joe. He's a dad and everything now. He's got to be a chill Joe.
You just call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman.
Go ahead, Mars.
I can close it out?
Yes, ma'am.
Not you smiling that hard. I can close it out.
All right. We want to thank y'all for tuning in to the very first episode of Above Average Podcast. We appreciate everyone who looked out, everyone who shared, everyone who commented, posted, reposted. We definitely appreciate and support. I know one thing I've taken away from this whole COVID thing is to show support, especially to our Black family. So we appreciate the support, and if you are doing anything, make sure you let us know because we will definitely show support back. We appreciate y'all, and we will check y'all out next time. Deuces.
Holla. First responders, I appreciate y'all, man. Please keep y'all head up. I know it's a little hard. I know it's a bunch of good people. Keep y'all head up.
Shout out to our special guest.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me on. Mark, as soon as you reached out, you already know it was nothing but a thing. No pun intended, nothing but a word. Here to support you guys. Very honored to be the first guest on the show. Can't wait to see more. So whenever you guys drop it, I'll definitely be sure to share it and tell people to check it out so that they can, get a mix. It's always nice to have a brand new, I think, podcast show, new personalities, new perspectives, and absolutely, I'm ready to support.
Appreciate it, TJ.
Somebody listen to John Legend tonight.
Mark, you listening to John Legend tonight?
No, I don't
want any. Put it on, Tommy.
No.
Peace out.
Right, gives you a little brother. Gives you a little brother. Y'all be easy.